Holy cow, it feels like it's been a long time waiting, a long time that I haven't been able to do anything in a while. But I'm back, ready to go. Episode 20 of the Himmelgod Has Spoken. I am Brian Himmelfarb, aka the Himmelgod, back again, live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Go Pack Go. And we are ready for episode 20. We got a lot to talk about today. What's up? Dan Rex in the house already. Holy shit, everybody's coming in here. Tonight is the warm-up to the warm-up. We're talking about Billy Ricky, who's going to be on at 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to lead you up into the warm-up show tonight. What's up, Wise Society? So you're getting a warm-up to the warm-up, to Insomniac, to Corrupted, to Derailed, whatever you're going to watch tonight. And we're all here, and we started off right now. That's how we're going. We're going ready to go. We're going to talk Halloween Horror Nights. I was at Halloween Horror Nights just a few days ago at Universal in Orlando, and I'm going to give you my review of Halloween Horror Nights 28. And holy shit, it was good. We're going to get into that. Also, hey, we got NFL this week. NFL week number 4. I'm going to give you my picks for this week. What's up, Ryan Romano? And we're going to talk about a few other things. PS4 Crossplay. Have they given in to Crossplay now, especially when it comes to Fortnite, and what it means for other games down the road here. Billy Ricky is in the house, so make sure you check that out. And we got a few other things to talk about. Guys, and you guys frustrated with the dating scene and stuff like that and things going on in this world and Me Too and all this other bullshit. You ever heard of the Tinder Trap? That's something that happened before I went out on the road. It took place. So I'm going to get into the Tinder Trap, and also about this one woman in Russia who's sick of manspreading and is decided to go ahead and take actions in her own hands, if you know what I mean. So this is going to be a very interesting episode. We're going to have a lot of fun. Tinder titties coming out as a hashtag tonight. Billy Ricky shouting out that hashtag Tinder titties in the chat. Holy shit, man. We are live in Green Bay, folks. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. Packers, Bills. I'm in a hotel with a bunch of Bills fans. Let's see how they react when I start making my picks this week. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it didn't sound good, Casey Yates. We're going to get into that, dude. So everyone hanging out, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in to hang out. We're getting shit started right now. Billy Ricky's in the chat. He's going to get ready for the warm-up show tonight. And let's just get all the pleasantries out of the way so we can get shit started. The weekend began yesterday. Make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter at highoctane_buzz. You guys know the deal. Over 1,000 followers right now over on Twitter. So I want to thank you guys for that. Get hyped! You guys are just fucking amazing, and I greatly appreciate all the support you guys have been showing since I've been away for a little bit. I'm back for just a little bit, and then I'm going to disappear for a bit. Then we'll be back again towards the end of the year, and things are going to fucking go nuts. Twitch, guys, make sure you guys are following me over on Twitch, _Himmelgod. I'll make sure that after this video, I'm going to put them in the description below so you guys can head over to those channels and see some of the content coming up. Some of you guys maybe last week may have caught a little game called Spider-Man being played by yours truly over on YouTube, so make sure you guys check that out. We had a great group that showed up this past week for Spider-Man. Maybe I can get some Spider-Man gameplay in early this week. Gorilla Strong! What's up, man? So hopefully we'll get some Spider-Man and some Madden. We got to catch up on Madden. We got a lot of games to sit around and play. So, guys, if it's your first time here, if this is the first time you ever heard about this show, thank you for being here, okay? Go ahead, make yourself at home. Don't be shy. Put your feet up on the table. Well, at your own home. Have some fun with us all in the chat. I do pay attention to the chat and all the show. Donations here. Just shout out in the chat. I'll make sure I pay attention to you guys so I know what's going on. I always give shout outs to people, so show some love. Broken Hardy's GOAT! What if it's my 200th time here? That's a lot, bro. But it does feel like it. But most importantly, welcome. Be welcome here. Don't feel like you have to be silent or anything. Speak out. Say something. We love to hear your opinions. If you enjoy the show, you know what to do. Click the like button. Give me that thumbs up. Hell, like Joe Cronin says, stick that thumb straight up my ass. Go ahead and do that, okay? Subscribe. Greatly appreciate everyone who subs to the channel. We're over 200 subs here, and you guys have been blowing me away. I think we're getting close to 220 already. You guys are just fucking killing it. Thank you for all the love, man. Click the bell to get notifications like everyone that's been in here tonight. They got the bell. They knew I was live. They checked out Twitter. So everything that you follow with me, you'll be up to date with everything going on. Shout out to everybody, to Joe Cronin. Go ahead and give some love to Joe Cronin. I monetized this last night. I was there for monetize this for a little while. Then I had to leave. I had an early flight this morning. It had nothing to do with any taunting. I think Pro Violence mentioned taunting yesterday. He mentioned it over on my Twitter. No taunting. Joe, I said something when I dropped a $5 donation. He says, "Oh, the Himmel Bank is running dry." No, it's not. Himmelgod had to go fly out to Green Bay today, so I had to go. And then, of course, once a certain Scott McKinnon showed up, I bailed. I don't even want to listen to that fuck. But I had to bail out from that. I walked away. I did drop some bombs last night. I had no plans of booting Tommy off. I said, you guys have your fun with him. And you did. So especially when there's a situation where Tommy didn't really stick up for Joe when one of his mods showed up and wanted to go after Joe. It's like, so where was Tommy? So all he wanted was the bonus points because he trashed Young Republican. Like, none of us haven't already done that already. We've all done it. I bashed Young Republican. It's not hard, okay? I bashed Scott McKinnon. It's not hard. I owned both of them. Okay, it's not hard at all. So for Tommy, I can't give you that much in bonus points, even though it was pretty savage and people started to show you some love. But where were you when your mod showed up and trashed Joe? You wouldn't stand up for your boy who's taking care of you, Tommy? Come on, man. Get your shit together. That's why you started getting the negative points. Or else maybe you would have won that points in the bank last night instead of your boy Fami. Think about that. But anyway, make sure you guys are checking out Joe at Corrupted Pod over on Twitter. Joe Cronin Show, Corrupted Podcast over on YouTube. And of course, Patreon. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Corrupted Podcast tonight. Hey, as little as $1 a month, you get corrupted. So make sure you guys are doing that. Make sure you guys are checking out Foulmouth Ken at Ken Foulmouths. Foulmouth Network, Foulmouth Nation, Foulmouth Network now back on the main channel. So we got Insomniac tonight, Foulmouth's Lives on Wednesdays. And speaking of Foulmouth's Live, we're getting close to episode number 100 of Foulmouth's Live, so make sure you guys go check that out. It's a lot of fun, great comedy every Wednesday and Saturday, which as of today, I'm recording here today, and we're going to have Insomniac tonight, so make sure you guys are checking out Foulmouth Ken. Shout out to Gatekeeper Drew, who I dropped negative points on last night, at Gatekeeper5150. Derailed Gatekeeper over on YouTube. We got Derailed episode number 30 coming up tonight. Celebrity Criminals is kind of the big theme of tonight, so you might want to check that out, and all the hijinks from a lot of the community members. I just said community, I can't believe it. But some of the community members all coming together for a big show. It's a lot of fun. I'm usually there. I'm not going to be there tonight, but they got Beat the Trek going on, which Trekopedia seems to be the big knowledgeable guy, although he did get beat by a certain Himmelgod. So don't you think it should be called Beat the Himmelgod? Throw that out there tonight if you're on Derailed. Throw it out there with letting Drew know it should be called Beat the Himmelgod because the Trek has been beaten. Just thought I'd go ahead and throw that out there. Shout out to Billy Ricky. He's in the chat tonight at BillyRicky03. Billy Ricky over on YouTube. We got the Insomniac warm-up show coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Get hyped. I will be there at times because I at least got to go get some fucking dinner tonight. But during those times, I'm going to be paying attention over to Billy Ricky. Show some love over there, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. Might play some guitar. Who knows? He'll be drinking from the bong, whatever it is, dude. It's fucking crazy. Pro Violence is in the house, man. Man, I gave some points to last night. What's up, Pro Violence? Finally, Two Marks Crew. Let me give a shout out to Dwayne and Everett, the Two Marks Crew, at Two Marks Crew over on the Twitter, the Two Mark Crew on YouTube. Last night, by the way, if you guys don't know, the name game ended last night. Round 4 of the name game. Myself and Gina were the last 2 left. Ladies and gentlemen, look at your winner. No one gave me a chance. I smacked Gina's ass last night. I made her tap out, baby. She was done, and I smacked that ass because no one gave me a chance. No one. They're all like, nope, Gina's got tits. She'll win. Nope, she didn't win. Gina went down last night. That's all it is. Gina went down like a virgin on prom night last night. That's how it was. She couldn't get it done. Your name game champion. Me. By the way, Himmelgod t-shirt available at teespring.com, courtesy of the Foulmouths Network. Head on over to teespring.com/Foulmouths Network or click the link in my Twitter feed at highoctane_buzz. We got mugs, we got hoodies. By the way, I heard Coop the Comedian picked up a hoodie. So let you guys know all this stuff is still out there. Make sure you guys are checking all that stuff out over on Teespring. I am getting ready to work on a new design for a Himmelgod shirt. So we're going to work on that. A lot of stuff I'm going to be working on here in the channel for production quality and shit like that. So a lot of changes are coming up. And we're just going to have to bear with it for a little bit. But maybe towards the end of the year, we can really get some things going. Like some banners here and some nice fancy artwork and stuff like that. I hear a certain Billy Ricky does stuff like that. So going to have to check out Billy Ricky here to see what we can do and put some shit together. Himmelgod is more over than JD, says Wilton. Billy Ricky talking to Elias out there. And holy shit, man. I'll tell you what, let's get started here this week here on the show because we got stuff to go through before Billy Ricky gets ready for the warm-up. So we're going to start out with an event that I attended this past week, known simply as Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios in Orlando. Halloween Horror Nights also is in California. They have it in Singapore. So all the events, they do Halloween Horror Nights. Very popular in California, but Orlando really is just getting that shit going. What's up, TJ Banks? See you in the chat, brother. But I was just there. This was my 3rd Halloween Horror Nights event that I was able to go to. My work schedule kind of fucks me over on this stuff. And because of that, I haven't always been able to attend all the time. My first one was back in 2013, and The Walking Dead was really big at that time. So with The Walking Dead going on, it was huge. And then Dave25, what's up, man? And we move into now where Walking Dead is kind of like, tumbling around the weeds because a lot of people didn't like the Negan storyline. They haven't had any haunted houses of it lately. Although I really do want them to bring one back because the Whisperers are going to be in season 9. So if you're going to bring some of the horror back, give us a haunted house already of The Walking Dead. So hopefully we get that coming back. But we had some really good haunted houses this year. One of the big themes was Stranger Things. If you guys haven't watched Stranger Things, you're missing a lot. You need to go watch Stranger Things over on Netflix. Check it out. And if those of you guys who are in Florida, California, whatever, if you're near Universal Studios, get out there and go check out that haunted house because it's fucking badass. But this year they had 10 haunted houses. They had a bunch of scare zones. Scare zones were a little campy, except for one, which was a little bit more traditional. And then they still had a stage show. It used to be in the past, the stage show was Bill and Ted. So when they would have Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure, everyone would flock to that. It was like the big thing every freaking year. Everyone wanted to check out Bill and Ted. Well, Bill and Ted's not there anymore. Bill and Ted's last show I think happened at least in Orlando in the last year. They ended it, but it was sad because it was always such a great show. The fans loved it. The humor. I mean, yeah, it was stupid humor, but we all love stupid humor. I mean, who doesn't fucking love stupid humor? We do. And it was all Bill and Ted style with the air guitars and all that shit. And I mean, foul language all over the place. At a theme park, you're getting foul language during shows. They would do that. They made fun of pop culture the whole time. So whatever was popular during that whole year between one Halloween Horror Nights and another, they covered it. Whether it was a movie or someone was in the news or whatever it was, they found a way to incorporate it in the show. And yeah, all the chicks that were dancers in the show got half naked. So I mean, either way, it was a great show. Of course, they warned you that the show was PG-13 or almost coming to a rated R show. So it was like, don't bring the kids, because you don't want your little 10-year-old walking around in Halloween Horror Nights of all things, and you hear someone on stage saying "fuck," "shit," "cocksucker," or whatever. So that shit was happening. So it was great, but unfortunately, the show is over. And they did a cyberpunk show. Didn't watch it, didn't really care. I'd rather be at the haunted houses and shit. I got an express pass finally this year because I have an annual pass, so I get a free ticket for Halloween Horror Nights for what I pay for. And I decided to get an express pass on top of it. And let me tell you something. I was glad I got it because some of these haunted houses, especially Stranger Things, those of you guys who might have follow me on Twitter would know because I posted a lot of shit, that a lot of the people that went this year gravitated at Stranger Things. It was almost like they wouldn't go anywhere else. It's like you got to tell them, hey, dude, there's 9 other fucking haunted houses out here. You don't need to stay at Stranger Things. Because Stranger Things at one point would have a 75-minute wait, an 80-minute wait, a 90-minute wait. And you can go to any other haunted house within 10 or 15 minutes. They all stayed at Stranger Things. They didn't want to go anywhere. And this was a thing at Universal Studios when they have Harry Potter, because they built these Harry Potter lands, and all the Harry Potter fans would come over and they gravitate around Harry Potter. They don't go anywhere else in the park. They're like, fuck the Hulk. I'm gonna stay at Harry Potter and go to Hogwarts Castle. I'm gonna have lunch over there. I'm gonna wave my little wand all over the fucking place while I drink my butterbeer. The fuck? Diagon Alley is pretty cool though, but with the fire-breathing dragon. So, but they move around that. Then they get on the monorail, head over to Universal Studios Florida because we have 2 theme parks that you could take. You can go to a monorail between one and the other, but they do it like Harry Potter. And then you go to that other Harry Potter section in London where they got Diagon Alley and Escape from Gringotts and stuff like that. Which by the way, all the Harry Potter rides are cool. They really are. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but I like the rides. I think they're entertaining and they're fun. But the fans, the diehard fans, they just gravitate there. And it's just like a massive load of bodies just standing there. Oh, I'm waiting over at Ollawanders. I want to go get my wand. They want to get all their bullshit. And the rest of us are like, fuck, dude, can you move on and do something else? So it pisses me off, but on the other side, I get what they're doing. I really do. Guys, give me 1 second because I just realized I'm gonna have to plug my fucking phone in because I got low fucking battery. Shit. This has been the story of my day. Bear with me for 1 second. We're gonna get back and we're gonna talk Halloween Horror Nights here in just a second. Plug! God for the fucking plugs. Da 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 da. Did you all see my hand up on the screen? I hope it did it. I didn't hear it. Let me charge it. Oh. We'll know pretty soon. Or this is going to be a really short show. Fuck. This is the iPhone XS, guys. If you guys are wondering, this is the XS Max. So that's the type of phone that I am using. So sorry, I'm playing with some stuff here, guys. I'm just making sure the phone's charging. Or I hope it is. If not, we got a problem. Look at me, I could turn right side up or oversize or whatever. We'll find out. Yes, this is the expensive phone for $1,500. Oh man, it's a great phone though. I'll tell you that right now. It is a great phone. But anyway, getting back to the whole thing of the subject of where we're at here. Halloween Horror Nights, uh, 10 haunted houses. And I ranked the 10 haunted houses. Most of these haunted houses I visited twice. Because the first time I might have missed some of the scare actors that were in there, because you always get that one chick that's like in front of you and she's so freaked out that she doesn't want to move, and then you miss more than half the fucking shit because these chicks are too damn fucking scared. Well, this is shit that happens, so sometimes having that express pass helped out for some of these haunted houses later on. So, but I ranked all 10 of them. As I said, Stranger Things is the big thing this year, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you the top 10. Some of these houses were bad, and a lot of these houses were good. I still think that this was a better Halloween Horror Nights. The scare zones might have been a little campy, except for the Twisted Tradition. Say that 3 times fast. You guys might have seen this on my Twitter feed with all the jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, which is one of the coolest scare zones to be in. And then the other stuff is kind of campy, like killer clowns from outer space and stuff like that. But, you know, it's good, clean fun. But here we go. Number 10 on my list, haunted houses for Halloween Horror Nights. Number 10 on my list is called Seeds of Extinction. This one was based on saying if a meteor hit Earth and it hit over in Phoenix or something like that over in Arizona, and all of a sudden all the desert life turned into jungle life. Very weird haunted house. I started thinking sci-fi and all this bullshit, like sci-fi B-movie bullshit. But this haunted house, what made me laugh about it was when you were walking to this haunted house, you were walking through the Barney attraction. So all of a sudden, as you're walking through the fucking Barney attraction, you're thinking, dude, I never knew Barney was fucking scary. And here we are with fucking Barney. And I was just laughing hysterically at the idea that Barney is going to go kill us. Hold on one second. Picking a light to see if it hits my fucking phone and wants to charge it. I've turned all the lights on in here. So hopefully this worked. But anyway, you're walking through this attraction. You're seeing the fucking Barney stuff. You guys go up on my Twitter, you'll see it. As I'm walking through, and you got the big statue of fucking Barney there, and you're walking through the Barney Theater on Halloween Horror Nights, and you're thinking, holy shit, Barney's scary. What's up, Ronnie Lee? And you're thinking, oh, dude, Barney's going to scare the shit out of us. He's going to fucking eat us or whatever, you know? He's pissed off at every time we were like, I love you, you love me, all that bullshit. I kill you, you kill me, we're a murdering family. All that shit. What's up, Super Laser? But I give them points for that. I was like, okay, that's funny. Then you go into the attraction itself, which is, I have to say was themed very well. You walk in there, it's all plant vegetation and shit like that. There's water dripping on you to make it feel like you're in a jungle. The only problem was that everything was camouflaged so well that you could barely even see the scare actors. It was like, you didn't even know they were there. They could just pop out like, you know, and do something scary. And it was like, you didn't even know they were there. It was like, oh, look, they look like plants. Yeah, that was really scary. No, it wasn't. It just wasn't scary at all. It didn't really bring me in. The theming did a little bit, but everything was just so not really as cool as I was hoping it would be, and it came off as boring. Very boring, very uneventful. I mean, the first time I missed most of the scare actors. The second time I went in there, I tried again, and it was like, it never really knocked it out of the park for me. So I have to give this a shitty score for this, because even though you get the bonus points for Barney and the theming, you just didn't give me anything inside this haunted house to really bring in a scare factor. It was just bad. It was very uneventful, very boring and forgettable. But it ends up on my list number 10 because, well, there are only 10 haunted houses, so it sits at number 10. Number 9 on my list is called The Horrors of Blumhouse. You might have heard of this director. He did stuff like The Purge. He also had a movie called Happy Death Day. Well, The Horrors of Blumhouse took place during Happy Death Day and the first Purge. And no, you can't kick the scare actors in the balls. Come on, man. But you go into this one and you start out the first half of this haunted house as Happy Death Day. Second haunted house comes as the first Purge. I look at The Horrors of Blumhouse and compare it to a movie. I think you know this movie very well, called Full Metal Jacket. Okay? Full Metal Jacket was kind of a movie in two parts. The first part, you had boot camp, which was fucking awesome. That was the best part of the whole damn movie. Then the second half, you're in freaking Vietnam, and it's like, whatever. It just didn't really hook you in as well as the first half of the movie. Well, that's how this haunted house was. The first half, you're doing Happy Death Day, and Happy Death Day, which is kind of like a Groundhog Day kind of thing, with your murdering character and stuff like that, even though that movie was like a PG-13 movie. But as a haunted house, it actually worked. It was like, oh, this is cool, and you see the killer every so often in that haunted house. Then you come into the second phase of it, which is the first Purge. And all of a sudden you're hearing the warning signs of the Purge and all that stuff, so you know what's coming. And then you see these people dressed up and have guns and all this stuff, and they're not really doing anything that really feels like it's, murder or whatever, or killing. It doesn't feel like something that should be a haunted house. They did this a while back where they did the Purge Anarchy. And that haunted house was okay. It didn't blow me away. And the same thing kind of happens here. While Happy Death Day was good, the Purge killed it. And that's the problem. It killed it as in, this is bad. The actors weren't scary. The actors didn't do anything to really push the envelope in the haunted house. The scenes that they had there were very well lit up and didn't really do much. It was kind of a bore. It's like, here, we'll just throw blood everywhere. Yeah, blood everywhere. And like all of a sudden it's supposed to be scary. It's not. And that's the problem. The Purge feels like more action oriented compared to, say, the first Purge movie. Not the first Purge, but the first Purge movie where it felt like it was like a home invasion kind of thing. That was the cool Purge movie that you could say, that should be a haunted house. The other stuff, they're taking place in a big old city and stuff like that. They got everybody dressed in masks and whatever, like they're going to go kill people and shit, because that was the whole idea of the Purge for 12 hours. No one can help you, and, everyone just kills everybody. They just go out there in the street, guns in the air, breaking down doors, whatever, start killing people. It's not something that really fits as a haunted house. Whereas if you're doing something, say, as a scare zone out in the streets in Universal Studios, that works. Okay, that's where the Purge works. As a haunted house, no, it doesn't. They did the Purge in scare zones a couple of years ago, and it was great. They did a great job with it. But as a haunted house, no. It just doesn't work at all. Number 8 on my list is called Slaughter Cinema. Cinema with an S. Let me go ahead and throw that in there. Slaughter Cinema is a bunch of, it takes place at a drive-in movie theater, and it faces like a bunch of B movies that they just created out of the blue. And they create these B movie trailers that you're watching up on a screen. And then when you go into the haunted house, it starts you out as part of the drive-in. Then it takes you through scenes from each one of those B movies that you saw out in the waiting area before you walked in. So that was a really unique idea. Hell, even they had like food bags and stuff like that, like a snack bar kind of thing. All the food bags were fake, but still, it looked pretty authentic for the shit they did. But you go in there, and they kind of went over some of these scenes that you kind of saw on this drive-in movie theater screen. And again, this haunted house, while cool in concept, is very forgettable. It's like you just come off of this haunted house, and you're like, I don't even remember what happened. That's not a good haunted house. You wanted to have something memorable from it, and nothing came off as memorable. What's up, TSS? Uh, Nothing memorable came out of it. They show the scenes from the movie. It's like, oh yeah, that's neat. Here's these sorority girls that put on a mask and just go ahead and stab a guy. They stab a nerd, basically, who's hung and shit like that. They hang him and then they fucking stab him to death and stuff like that, like based off some sort of ritual and shit. Uh, didn't really do anything for me. Like they had like Amazon women on Mars or something like that, and they just start killing the astronauts and whatever. It didn't really do much. Some people said it was a decent haunted house. I came out of it as forgetful. It doesn't really do anything to say to me that this is pretty awesome. It just came off as bland. It didn't really do much. So I was a little disappointed. That's where my disappointment ends. These three haunted houses I mentioned were the disappointments. Everything else was a step up and a step up and then a step up higher. So number 7 on my list is called Scary Tales. Scary Tales, which is taking your favorite fairy tales and turning them upside down, basically, turning them into nightmares. And one of the coolest things you go into is, I guess they have like I think it's like a Wicked Witch of the West kind of thing right in the beginning. And she's in a castle and she's hooked onto a freaking bungee cord. No, Luke, I won't. But she's on a bungee cord. So she's sitting there doing her job acting and whatever and setting off these magic pots and whatever. And then she'll jump off like on that bungee and just like she's like hovering right over you and stuff as she would come from one set of the stage to the other, setting up the tone for what's coming. In the beginning, you see some of these fairy tale characters. They had one like a Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. They had like a little mermaid character. So you could tell they were really jabbing at Disney on this. They had a Humpty Dumpty one, Little Red Riding Hood. They had, I think, like an Alice in Wonderland. They had Hansel and Gretel, like the three little pigs, except the pigs are freaking murderers. And they murdered the fucking wolf. And you see these guys dressed up in the fucking pig mask. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Goldilocks killing the 3 fucking bears. It was like, what the fuck? She's got a hatchet in her hand, taking them freaking out with a hatchet. I was like, fuck, this is some nasty shit. Humpty Dumpty broke it all apart and they cooked him. It was like, what? I was like, holy fuck, dude. It was really cool. The only bad part about this thing was it really wasn't scary. It was like, whatever, you know. It was fun. It was themed very well. Like all of a sudden, where's the Little Mermaid? You find the Little Mermaid in bones all over the place. They ate her. It was like all sorts of crazy shit. And then one of the cool things at the end of the attraction is they had this giant bear, like really big ass fucking bear, scare actor in a fucking bear costume to scare the shit out of you. And it got quite a few people, but it didn't really get me. But I'll give you a story. A few years ago, back in 2015, we went. Those were the last Halloween Horror Nights I was able to go to before this past one. They had an attraction, or not attraction, but a haunted house. And in the haunted house, they have a bear that's eating this deer right in the beginning. It's eating this fucking deer, and it's pretty much like an animatronic bear. And everyone's looking at it going, oh, that's cool, you know, that's pretty neat and whatever. We're all like, yeah, that's neat. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys that was with me didn't realize there's a guy in a big-ass fucking bear costume coming up right behind him and scared the shit out of him. It scared the shit out of him so much that he screamed like a fucking girl. That we all had to turn around. And even the scare actor's like, what the fuck? Turn in your damn man card, all right? It was pretty embarrassing. And we never let him live it down ever. Thank you, Elias. I love when I tell stories. We're going to have stories next week, too. So you guys are going to be part of it, too. But this guy scared the shit out of him. He screamed like a fucking girl. We let him remember that because when we saw the bear, and then all of a sudden we're waiting for the bear to scare him again. We're like, hey, turn around. And he turned around. There's the bear. Like, oh, fuck. You know, he almost screamed like a girl. And we're like, do it. And it didn't happen. But it was like, we just want to remember you to show you the fucking bears here. But we went through that haunted house twice. Again, not very scary, but themed very well. And it was memorable. I can come out of it and still remember all the shit that took place inside that haunted house because it was good. It just wasn't scary. So it's kind of at that bottom of the list of good haunted houses, but could have been a lot better. Number six on my list is called Carnival Graveyard. This took place in a scrapyard and made it like a carnival. And they'd have different characters looking like they worked in the place and just were all deranged and shit. And they would have stuff like a love shack or different, or even different things that you would find in a carnival. They even had a section where they do the smash for the fucking cars and shit. They had that. So there's a section where you're walking through and you can felt like the thing's starting to cave in on you and shit. It was pretty cool, and then you're seeing blood and guts and everything everywhere. You know, not real blood that gets all over you and shit. That doesn't happen. But the bear was revealed as Canadian Basement. Oh fuck! Shout out to Canadian Basement. No, he's I think he's coming out of the hospital pretty soon. So shout out to him. But the Carnival Graveyard was pretty neat, very lit up. Uh, they used a lot of Christmas lights and stuff like that in there, kind of just to show off some of the scenery. They had one area that's a scare area that you're walking through, but it's no scare actors. It's a car. And they used this freaking car with the headlights to scare the shit out of people. And it worked. Like, there's people in front of us, our group, that were freaked the fuck out as they're walking through, and all of a sudden you hear, and it's a car sitting right next to you. They had no idea the fucking car was there. So I thought that was neat. They go through an area of a love shack, and you walk in this love shack, and you hear people, it sound like people making out and shit. And what you see is this couple that's hung on a freaking chain that had been impaled. And it was like, what the fuck? It was pretty neat. I was pretty impressed with what they did in this event. It's not like the most memorable thing you're going to have. I think Scary Tales might be a little bit more memorable, but I think Carnival Graveyard brought a little bit more of the scare factor because they did that, and that's why I ranked it a little bit higher. It was pretty neat. I'll give you that. Number five, we're halfway through. Number five is called Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is based off, I think, a 2008 movie where they had this little kid with a sack on his fucking head, and he goes around making sure people pay attention to the traditions of Halloween and what Halloween is all about. Now, if you fuck over the traditions of Halloween, he basically kills you. And I don't know if it was a kid or something else or whatever it was, because I haven't seen the movie. But this is an attraction where, or a haunted house where I could say, I actually want to see the movie because I think it's reviewed very well. Last year at Halloween Horror Nights, it was a scare zone. This year, they turned it into a haunted house. And it was really neat as they reenact a lot of the scenes from the movie. And you got guys with, like, the old guy with the big freaking shotgun trying to shoot that sack character that's doing all the killing. There's jack-o'-lanterns everywhere. They got the scene where the one kid's freaking vomiting out, I guess, from the candy and shit. There's another scene where you see people just getting abducted by the killer. You just see them come out and they're just screaming, and then all of a sudden they drag them back in. There's one where it makes it look like a character's getting their neck snapped. And when that happened, it was like, what the fuck? It was actually pretty neat. It was themed extremely well as it takes place during Halloween night. There was no scare actor dressed as Anna Paquin, though. I was a little disappointed there, but overall, it was actually very memorable, neat, and it makes me want to see the movie. It makes me think of my first Halloween Horror Nights I went to in 2013, and they had an attraction called Cabin in the Woods. And if you remember Cabin in the Woods, which is another horror flick that's also done by a person named Joss Whedon that you guys might know, and they had all the different characters and stuff like that surviving in this from the cabin all the way over to this underground bunker where they're performing a ritual so that the gods from the underworld don't come back up and kill everybody. So if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. It's actually really funny. It's not just a horror movie. It's a horror movie with a lot of humor in it. So it's actually pretty cool. Chris Hemsworth's in this movie. Thor himself, he's in there. I'm trying to think who else. If you remember the one villain character from Billy Madison, he's in it, and he's hilarious in this movie. I wish I could see a merman, and the merman does eventually show up in the movie, so I thought that was pretty cool. But It's not like a huge star-studded affair. I think one of the chicks from the freaking Power Rangers is in this movie, and she plays the slut. So go figure. But Sigourney Weaver does appear in this movie as well, and it's absolutely fantastic. You should definitely take the time, go watch it. It's actually really neat. But Trick or Treat's going to be that other one. I got it at number 5. And number 4 on my list is the best of the original haunted houses that they've had at Halloween Horror Nights. So you can tell the other 3 are franchises. But at number 4 is called Dead Exposure Patient Zero. This was told to me by a lot of people who said, this one is really good. Go over there. You're going to love it. And we go in there, and one of the things they tell you before you get in that haunted house is stay with your group. Whatever you do, don't go through this and get sidetracked or get lost and you're by yourself. Because the reason why is because you're going to experience temporary blindness. And dude, they weren't fucking kidding. All right. You're going through some smoke in the beginning to a whole bunch of strobe lights and shit. And to the point where the attraction itself is practically pitch black and you can't see shit. So the idea is you got to stay together with your group. So when you're in there, and while you're there, they have a couple of Universal people, staff in there to let you know, hey, with a little flashlight, you want to move this way. You can barely see them, but they're there and they're trying to let you know, go this way, go this way. So they don't, because you're basically all fucked up here because of the strobe lights and shit. Because a lot of the strobe light effects that they bring in are where the scare actors come out, and dude, they get you. They got me. I mean, I didn't scream like a girl, but dude, they fucking got me. And I'm like, holy fuck, they just come out of nowhere. And it just blew my freaking mind. They used a lot of strobe light here. They used some black light effects. They just throw the kitchen sink out for this shit good. Luke, what the hell, man? Luke's being a friendly troll in the chat, everybody. No need to ban Luke. He's fine. He's having fun. It's not like all the other trolls, so he's okay. I like Luke. He's cool. Shout out to Luke Rojas. But the strobe effects were pretty badass. They get to the end where there's a big blood scene and whatever, like a bloodbath kind of thing that happens from this idea. And they nailed it out of the park. Not very often do you get an original haunted house that nails it out of the park. This one does. And it shows the potential that Universal has when they create original haunted houses. A lot of times you get them and they're not that memorable and they're like, whatever. Then you get stuff like this where they show you what their production value really is. And that's pretty neat. The Metal Madman, what's up, man? But Dead Exposure Patient Zero, a lot of people told me this was a good house. Make sure you go there. I went there, very impressed. It ends up at number 4. So here we are. Matthew Oswald, what's up, buddy? We're down to our top 3. And you can pretty much figure out what this top 3 is. They're all franchises. They're all franchises that are done very well. One thing Universal does when it comes to franchises, they know what they're doing. Very rarely do they fuck it up. Rarely. They had one year where they had Freddy versus Jason. They fucked it up. You look at a lot of the Blumhouse haunted mazes. They fucked them up. Okay? Trick or Treat was very good this year. So all of a sudden, here we go. Number 3 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This one was huge. This was a big deal. Even though the Halloween sequels are no longer canon, okay? The only ones that are going to matter is the first one and the one that's coming up in October. Those are the only Halloween movies now that matter because they're considered canon, and the other sequels don't mean shit no more. But they did Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and they just fucking nailed it. They hit every major scene in this movie, okay, from the psych ward on, and just nailed it. And every so often you would catch Michael Myers coming out to freaking stab you. He was like the main guy here. There wasn't anybody else to try and really scare you. It was Michael Myers. Hell, even some of the actors that were in here were based off the characters in the movie. Like, you didn't have a Jamie Lee Curtis in here, but you had the little girl that was dressed up in the clown costume. She would come out and scare you. It was like, oh shit. they got the little girl. They had the guy that was on the stairs with the freaking shotgun. He couldn't load the bullets in the fucking shotgun. And here comes Michael Myers. And the girl's saying, come on, come on. He's like, run. And Michael Myers is coming after him. So, they had that scene in the movie. It was really neat. They had that one investigator guy. I forget his fucking name. But he was cool as fuck. He's got a scene in here, a couple of scenes. There's another sheriff who's in this that gets himself mutilated by Michael Myers. You get to see that. They got the scene towards the end where they hit him with a vehicle and they're shooting him up and everything to take down Michael Myers, which is basically at the end. And they have a few other scares like during that attraction, but they hit all the major scenes of the movie, and they did a really good job in terms of trying to scare everybody because you didn't know if it was coming from ahead of you, from behind you, anywhere. You had no idea it was coming. And so they nailed it. And then you got the Michael Myers theme playing throughout the attraction. You got the da 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 da. When they were playing that, it was really neat. So really awesome stuff. So Halloween 4 coming in at number 3. Number 2 on the list. We're down to 2 haunted houses, and one of them was the biggest theme of Halloween Horror Nights this year. Is it number 1 or is it number 2? But here is number 2. It's called Poltergeist. So now number 1 is Stranger Things. But at number 2 is Poltergeist. And Poltergeist is not based off of the current remake, which was a piece of shit. Okay? This one is based off the 1982 movie. And they take you right from the beginning to the swimming pool scene. When you walk in, you're right in the middle of a storm. It's raining on you. And you're in the middle of where the swimming pool was. And you hear him saying, you son of a bitch. You moved you didn't move the bodies. You just moved the fucking headstones. When you're hearing that, it was like, oh my God, they hit the lines from the movie. And you're hearing what's going on because all of a sudden you have that moment where Carol Ann's like sitting there in front of the TV going, they're here, and the freaking ghosts are coming out and all that shit. What's up, Heistman Defoe? So you go into the house, and the detailing of this is very good. They got the scene where, if you guys have seen this movie from back in 1982, where the guy is shaving in the bathroom, and he's shaving. The problem is, though, as he starts to shave, he gets a cut on his face. As he tries to clean it, all of a sudden he's peeling his fucking skin off because all of a sudden this lamp is starting to heat up. And as it's heating up, he's like scratching up his face just like this, except his face is fucking peeling off. They have that scene in this fucking attraction. It was really neat. They had the scene where up on the kitchen countertop, they have this slab of fucking meat. And then the meat would move. It was like, what the fuck? How is this moving? It's really fucking awesome. So they have that scene there. They have all the different ghosts, all the poltergeists, all that stuff. They have the little midget woman. If you remember the little midget woman, they know you're coming. All this shit. So they got the little midget woman in there. They're like, run to the light, Carolyn, run to the light. All that shit. They nail it. All the ghosts, they nail it. They have the scene where the tree comes into the fucking room to take little Robbie, right? And they have the clown. If you guys remember the clown in that movie, and the clown was under the bed, and he was trying to get Robbie. And while they're trying to get Carol Ann, they're trying to get Robbie out of the way. So the clown's going after him. So you have the scene with the clown, and they scare you with the freaking clown and the big skull and all this shit. They do such a great job with it that, again, they nailed the whole point of what Poltergeist was all about. And there's a moment in the game in the haunted house where you go to the other side. So you're on both sides. And then eventually you end the attraction from the other side because you see the other side of Carol Ann with the hands on the television. So you can see her outline and everything. So technically you end the haunted house from the other side. So you're going from our world to the other side. So it was actually pretty fucking neat. So I got to give it to him. Poltergeist, number 2. Even the scare actors were in giant freaking ghost costumes and shit. It's really good. So I was very impressed with that. Number 1, as I mentioned, Stranger Things is number 1. And you can see why everybody gravitated to this. The Stranger Things haunted house is based off of season 1 of the show. So you're getting from the beginning the vanishing of Will Byers all the way to when you find him at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen Stranger Things by now. Okay, every single character is represented here. Every single character, all the kids are represented by a scare actor. You see them in the show. They have Winona Ryder's character in there where she's using the axe to break down the wall to find where Will is, and you're inside the house and you got all the letters to the Christmas lights, and you would get that RUN run, and the lights blinking all over the place. It's just really freaky. And of course, throughout this whole attraction, remember the Demogorgons coming after you. So the Demogorgons everywhere. I mean, you starting out from the lab, and if you guys remember from the lab where the guy was trying to run into the elevator to get away, and the Demogorgon got him from the top of the fucking elevator and was just fucking hanging him to death. So you had that scene, and but the Demogorgon's all over the place. He's in the house. He's in the Upside Down. You do go to the Upside Down, and the cool part about the Upside Down was when you're in it is, if you guys remember in the Upside Down, they had like this ash or whatever that was there. They had that in this attraction. It was like really minuscule, but you're able to see it through the light. And it was like, oh, fuck, they made this like the Upside Down because there's a section where you go there. So I thought that was really cool. And overall, though, it was pretty badass. So in the end, I would go with Stranger Things, number 1. No other way to put it, but 65 fucking minute wait. Fuck that shit. 65 minutes is way too fucking long to wait for something. That's how I would go ahead and put it. 65-minute wait is insane for a 4-minute walkthrough. That's what it was. I mean, these haunted mazes last about 4 or 5 minutes. And 65 minutes. Thank God for Express Pass because it worked out great. But anyway, that was it for Halloween Horror Nights. I've had some that I would be favorites. I was going to do all time, but I haven't been in enough of them to really put all time on this list. Stuff like American Werewolf in London, Cabin in the Woods, Evil Dead, The Walking Dead. Yeah, they nailed those. But I really want to see more The Walking Dead down the line. Oldest ride, longest line. What do you mean by that, Will? What do you mean by that? Just a thought. Let me know. Let me know on that. Well, I don't think Ric Flair was part of the ride when you're sitting there going, woo! But overall, Halloween Horror Nights, it's a really neat experience. If you've never been there, go. It's something you need to take advantage of, and I would recommend it. So there you go. Anyway, we're going to move on, and we're going to start talking about football. I know there's some football fans in here, and one of the things I said when I started doing this show was we were going to talk football. So here we are, week 4. Got to make some picks. I got my pen out because I am going to lock down these picks, okay, for this week. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into a couple other things, and then we're going to wrap things up so Billy Ricky can get ready for the warm-up show, which starts in 1 hour. So thought I'd go ahead and give you that little warning. Billy Ricky's going to be getting ready shortly, so we all got to head over there and get that foul mouth hype going. But here we go. Week number 4 of the NFL. An hour. Yes, an hour away. I know it's getting close. Isn't it nice when you're the warm-up to the warm-up? Foul mouths. Anyway, NFL week number 4. I understand, Stan Will. Anyway, let's go ahead and knock down these picks, and then we're going to get into the Tinder Trap and the PS4 stuff and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting out with our 1 o'clock games. Bengals, Falcons. In Atlanta. Atlanta now a 4-point favorite in this game. Bengals, I'll tell you what, they've been pretty interesting this year. Atlanta, very talented, but they're just not getting the job done right now, is one of my problems with the Atlanta Falcons. And they're taking on the Bengals this week. Atlanta, 4-point favorite at home. If I'm a betting man, pen's ready. I'm taking the Falcons on this one. At home, week 4. Moving on, Bucks and Bears. Both teams 2-1. Fitzpatrick's been on fire. but the Bears defense is fucking scary as fuck. If you guys know what I'm talking about. TS says, I'm going to start my own show so I can be the warm-up to the warm-up to the warm-up of Insomniac. TS says, dude, you crazy motherfucker. Chicago coming in as a 3-point favorite in this game. Fitzpatrick's been great this year. Jameis Winston, who's going to be coming back. But I don't see Jameis Winston starting this game. I think they're going to stick with Fitzpatrick for this one. You might as well ride the hype while it's real. Even Fitzpatrick still gave the Bucs a chance to win last week, coming up just short. But that Bears defense, which was a top 10 defense last year with Khalil Mack, and I got the chance to watch him against the Green Bay Packers in the first week, and it's scary. I'll tell you something. The Bears... Trubisky, when you look at him, is a quarterback of the future. He's really improved ever since his rookie season. You've got a defense. If they can continue to build their offense and have that killer defense that they have right now, I think the Bears are going to be a formidable team to deal with in the coming years, within the next couple of years. I think the Bears are going to be very fucking scary. So I am going to take Chicago here at home against the Bucs. Fitzpatrick's still going to be good. It's just not enough to knock off the Bears. Bears getting that 3-point edge at home, which is typical for any team. When you're at home, you automatically are a 3-point favorite. So nothing really moved in that game. Lions-Cowboys. Cowboys suck. And yet Dallas is a 3-point favorite at home against the Lions. And if the Lions showed us anything about what they did to New England, it makes me wonder, is this a one-game thing? Or are the Lions all of a sudden for real? This is where I'm going against the grain. I'm going against the spread on this one. And I'm going Lions on this one. I think the Lions on the road are going to get it done in Dallas. I don't think Dallas is that effective anymore. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Tell me I'm wrong in the fucking chat, man. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right. One of the reasons why I'm here, man. We need that Fitzmagic. I'm telling you. Bills Packers, where I'm going to be at Lambeau Field on Sunday. Packers at 1-1-1. Who would have expected the Packers to be at this record, where a lot of people had them at 3-0, a lot of people had them 2-1 at this point, or 3-0 coming into this game. And all of a sudden, you're 1-1-1. Hey, you're 500, but a mediocre 500. Defense is suspect. Aaron Rodgers is great. The offense is going to show up. The Buffalo Bills all of a sudden have shown up. Now, is it a fluke? Is it just this one-game thing that they were able to beat Minnesota? And Minnesota's got their issues right now. Minnesota has a lot of issues, both offensively and defensively right now. And it even showed against the Rams this past Thursday. So it's hard for me to say that the Bills are back. All right, let's face it. We all know no one can circle the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Thank you, Chris Berman. But Packers and Lambeau have not lost. Bills coming in on the road, who they beat Minnesota. Such an emotional high coming into this game. And I know there are a lot of Buffalo Bills fans in this hotel right about now. There are a lot of them. I was on a plane today, and it was probably half filled with Buffalo fans. And I hate to disappoint you because, baby, go Pack, go, because the Packers are winning this motherfucker. Packers are winning this fucker. They are a 9.5-point favorite in this game. And I am going with the Packers to win at home. They're ain't losing this thing. No way. No way, nowhere, no how. Even though the defense has been bad and Clay Matthews gets to keep calling for roughing the passer. So the big question is, over under, how many times will Clay Matthews get called for roughing the passer? Just throwing it out there. I think that penalty is bullshit. I think we all agree that this penalty is bullshit. Okay, this roughing the passer thing that they've set for this season needs to go. It's fucked up. Eagles-Titans, both teams 2-1. Eagles seem to have found a groove a little bit again. The Titans, on the other hand, they're the Titans. They're at home. Philadelphia's coming in at a 3.5-point favorite on the road. At some point, we're all expecting Carson Wentz to come back. We don't know when, but I want him to, even though Nick Foles has been very serviceable. Titans, on the other hand, I'll tell you what, Marcus Mariota, he's like an up-and-down guy. You just never know what you're really going to get these days. I guess being called a cheesehead nowadays isn't too good. No, it's okay to be called a cheesehead, Billy. Everyone loves the cheeseheads. Seriously, we had Bills fans in the Packers shop. I was at the Packers shop today, the Packers Pro Shop at Lambeau, which is jam packed. Like everybody's in there right now. And dude, even the Bills fans were in there checking all the stuff out. And the first thing a lot of these Bills fans went to is just they have this big truck display with all the cheeseheads, and they're putting the cheeseheads on. They love that shit. Everybody loves the cheeseheads. All right, everybody loves them. No matter who you are, you want the fucking cheesehead on your hat, on your head. It's the cool thing. It really is. But Eagles Titans anyway. It's hard for me to go against the Super Bowl champs here on the road. So I am going to go ahead and pick the Eagles with a 3.5-point favorite home. I'm writing these shit down, okay? I'm not making this stuff up, folks. I'm making my picks right here. I'm holding to them. Texans Colts. Texans have been interesting to say the least. Even though they're 0-3, I think they're better than their record, to be honest with you. I don't think they should be 0-3. The Colts, on the other hand, 1-2. They're a 1-point favorite at home. Does anyone else feel that the Houston Texans come up with a win here today or on Sunday? Because I'm feeling it. There's no way the Texans can be 0-4 at this point. I just can't. I feel it. TSS is feeling the same thing. Texans are going to win their first game. And I'm with you on this. I am actually with you. Sean Watson, baby. I'm telling you. I probably wish they had him at Clemson right now. You see how fucked up Clemson is right now? They barely even won today. Barely. Their new quarterback that they're supposed to have after Kelly Bryant's now going to be a transfer. He's injured. It's like you're going to a third-string quarterback to help save you against Syracuse. But anyway, enough about Clemson. Fuck Clemson. I am going to go with the Texans to get their first win over Indy. Sad how far Indy has fallen, I'm telling you. This one's the one of the most interesting for me as a fan. Dolphins-Patriots. I am a Dolphins fan, heart always. I grew up as a Miami fan. I'm also a Green Bay fan, but I've been a Miami fan since I was a kid. Dan Marino, everything, dude. I have my Dan Marino throwback sitting in my freaking luggage. When I go to the next Green Bay game I go to after this one, it is Dolphins and Packers. Think I'm going to be wearing Green Bay stuff? Nope. I'm going to be in Miami gear because I'm a Miami fan first, Green Bay fan second. That's how I am. But Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins 3-0. Patriots are struggling a bit, 1-2. New England is a 6.5-point favorite at home, expected, because the fact is it's the New England Patriots. If you think about it, the Miami hasn't won there since 2008. 2008 is when the late Tony Sparano was coach, and he brought forth the Wildcat. That's when the Wildcat was born, and Ronnie Brown ran all over the New England Patriots that day. If you all remember that back in 2008. 2008 also, by the way, is the last time the Miami won the division. Think about that. So here we are in this situation. Miami is 3-0. But here's my thing about Miami at 3-0. I don't think they're a strong 3-0. If you look at Miami and who they played for the first 3 games, they haven't really played anybody of significance. What's up, Jamie Mills says you can't wait till Notre Dame plays tonight. There you go. And it sounds like you got a Notre Dame fan in the house. Steve Cody says, I have a feeling New England's going to go on a tear. That's the thing I think a lot of us fear. New England's 1-2 right now. There's a lot of bickering with New England at this point. A lot of people saying that the Patriots are done. I think a lot of us want the Patriots to be done because we're sick of the fucking Patriots every year. Everyone is. All right. Oh, Giants fan. All right, there you go. But it's hard for me to, as a Dolphins fan, to go against New England. It's hard to, especially in Foxborough. If this game was in Miami, I would pick Miami all day. Because New England and Miami, for the past several years, have been splitting the season series. And it's always New England winning in Foxborough, Miami winning in Miami. It's always been that way. It's very rare that New England would sweep a series, and it's rare, very extremely rare when Miami would do it. So in this case, it's hard for me to go with my boys. It's hard for me to go with Miami. As great as they've been, they haven't really played anybody of true difficulty at this point. New England is that first, I think, real test because it's still Tom Brady. And no matter who else is there, you still got to beat Tom Brady. And Miami's defense, while improved, is it enough to stop them? I hate to say it. I think it'll be closer than 6.5 points. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I was a man betting against the spread, I would pick Miami. But in this case, this is a straight up. So I'm going to take the Patriots at home. Sad to put Miami with that first loss, but it needs to come at some point. But we need to know where Miami really stands, especially as a team at 3-0. There's only two undefeated teams left. The other is Kansas City. I feel like Kansas City might be a little bit more real than Miami at this point. So I'm going to take the Patriots at home, as much as I hate it. Fucking Tom Brady. Jets, Jaguars. Is there any doubt in my mind of this one in Jacksonville? Granted that Jacksonville's offense is horrible to begin with, but that defense is fucking sick as hell. I don't need to go any further than this. I am taking the Jaguars at home, 7.5 point favorite. I mean, come on. Jacksonville's got this in the bag. Moving into the 4 o'clock, Browns, Raiders. Browns, surprisingly, getting that first win not too long ago, and then they had all that beer. I wish I was in Cleveland. We all could have enjoyed the Browns beer, but we didn't. But they're taking on the Raiders at 0-3. Oakland, a 3-point favorite here at home. And as much as I just don't feel like a lot of East Coast teams do well on the West Coast. They just don't. And when you're looking at Cleveland, as much as they're on that high from winning, I think Oakland's going to get their first win here. So it's hard for me to keep going with, to go with the Browns and ride that wave. And if you look at what the Raiders have done, they even came close against Miami. So I'm going to take the Raiders at home over the Browns. Moving on, we got a few more games left here. Seahawks, Cardinals. Cardinals are at home in this one, and they're a 3-point dog to Seattle. But Seattle at 1-2, Cardinals 0-3. Again, I feel like this is a no-brainer pick. And I'm going with the Seahawks. Listen, the Cardinals aren't going to go 0-16, but the Seahawks, I just can't see them losing this game at all. Moving on here, Saints, Giants, and I think I heard Jamie being a Giants fan here. New Orleans, a 3.5-point favorite on the road in this game in the Meadowlands. Saints are going to come marching in. I'm sorry. I just see it. The Saints are they're just that team this year, man. And I'm going to go with the Saints. As much as I like what you got Shaquan Barkley over there in New York, but you got the veteran Drew Brees, and that offense seems to be clicking for the Saints right now. They just seem to be on a different level than where the Giants are at this point. Who dat? Who dat? Says Ryan Romano. I'm going to go with the Saints in this one, but Giants going to need maybe a couple more years in the draft to be a little bit more formidable. Giants they'll make their way in the future, but in this game against the Saints, it's just not going to happen. Even though you have the Saints out on the road, outside of the dome. Usually, a lot of times outside the dome, they don't do very well. But in this case, I just can't see them losing this one to the Giants. 49ers and Chargers. LA, a 10.5-point favorite. This is the largest spread of the week. I'm wondering if the Chargers can cover 11 points. Honestly, I don't. I think the 49ers are going to make this one close. A little bit closer, a little too close for comfort in this game if you're a betting man. However, I'm going to pick the Chargers. 49ers are going to still need a lot of work, and I think that's at the time when that comes up, it will happen. But for now, got to go with the Chargers. I think they're a team that's on a roll. They're a sleeper team in the AFC. So it's something to keep an eye on with the LA Chargers. It's hard for me to even say Chargers without saying San Diego, honestly. But Chargers win. No Jimmy Garoppolo, no problem for the Chargers. Exactly. So I'm just seeing it the way I see it. Sunday Night Football, Ravens, Steelers. I always love this rivalry because I always watch Ravens, Steelers. It's always such a great game to go ahead and watch. And this one should be no different from any of the other games that we've seen in the past. Yes, there's no Le'Veon Bell, and Le'Veon Bell is looking to get traded out of Pittsburgh. So here we go. Ravens Steelers Sunday Night Foosball. Bobby Boucher. Oh, you remember what was it? Bill Cowher was in that movie with Jimmy Johnson, and they were trying to compare what Bobby Boucher was going to be like. If you guys remember that, they had that argument, and I thought that was great during the movie. So I thought that was really funny. But Ravens Steelers is always a classic. It's always something special. It's always unpredictable, and in this case, it could be the same thing, but I feel like that the Steelers are finding some momentum right now. As I tell you, I love the Waterboy. It's on Netflix right now, and I watch it. Um, the Steelers are on a roll, but I'll tell you what, the Ravens are just they're scary. They really are. They're a team where at this point, they used to be so dominant in the past, and now it's like you just don't know what team is going to show up. And the Steelers, we know, are the Steelers. And as much as I want to pick Pittsburgh, who's a 3-point favorite here at home, I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one to pull the upset at Heinz Field. I'm going with it because this series is always very unpredictable. This rivalry is unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Yes, Jamie Mills, Friday the 13th is coming to PlayStation Plus. You are absolutely correct, and I will be getting it. We might have to stream that a few nights. Watch for that. I think we'll stream Friday the 13th. That should be fun. If we can get everybody on PlayStation to get Friday the 13th, and we can do an online game, a bunch of online games on my stream over on YouTube or on Twitch, we're going to make that happen. That'll be a blast. So we're taking a little moment outside of football. We got to cover the Monday night game, but it's free for the month of October. So, guys, go check out Friday the 13th. Billy Ricky says I have it on Assbox. It's very intense. It is a cool game. It really is. Monday Night Football, Chiefs, Broncos. Kansas City coming in a 4.5-point favorite on the road. Patrick Mahomes is for fucking real, folks. He really is. And the Chiefs right now are just a little too strong, honestly. I'll give you that in a second here, Jamie. They really are. They are very strong, and I really like the Chiefs right now. They have all the momentum right now, and then you look at Denver, a team that's 2-1. They can hang with these guys, but and especially that you're playing a game in Denver. However, it's just Kansas City's on that other level right now. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs on Monday night to go ahead and beat the Denver Broncos. I have made my picks, you guys. They are locked for this week. We'll see how I do. And next week on episode 21, which we're going to call the casino episode, the blackjack episode, we're going to talk about that. So, but there you go. There's my picks in the NFL for week number 4. It'll be very interesting. I'll be at Lambeau tomorrow cheering on the Packers, keeping tabs on the Dolphins-Patriots game as well at the same time, and doing a lot of drinking and cheering and stuff like that. I'm going to have a fucking good old time. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blast. I'll have some pictures and stuff. You guys will see it all on my Twitter. As you guys who might follow me on Facebook, you're probably going to see a few videos and stuff like that as well. Jamie Mills says, mine is big_blue_fan33. If you want to add me, I will. Thank you, Jamie Mills. I will make sure I add you on. For those of you guys that have PlayStation and you want to add me, we're going to talk PlayStation here for a second. It is High Octane, HIGHOCTANE_Buzz, BUZZ. Guys, check me out over on PlayStation. I got Spider-Man going on right now for all my streams, but we're going to have Friday the 13th as well. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll have a lot of Friday the 13th games, so make sure you guys do that. Xbox-wise, if you guys got Xbox and you have Forza Horizon 4, get ready. We're going to be streaming that. I might stream that as early as Monday. I have the Ultimate Edition. I just haven't had time to play it yet, but I want to get into that game, and everyone's been talking fucking awesome things about it. But speaking of PS4, Billy Ricky's like, I have Horizon 2. There you go. Forza Horizon's been a great series, man. I'm telling you. I love the Forza series. I really do. PS4 is finally caved in. If you guys don't know, the PS4, Sony's finally caved in and is allowing crossplay on the PlayStation 4. Finally. But it's for Fortnite. A lot of pressure has been made amongst a lot of people. If you guys know, Microsoft and Nintendo, along with PC players, have all been able to play together in Fortnite. Take a swig for a second. But Sony has been very, I guess, tight-assed about it. They're saying, listen, the best place to play Fortnite is on PS4. It's the only place you really should be playing it. So we're not going to share with anybody. Fuck you guys. So they pretty much acted really tight-assed about it. And it seems that the complaints were so high. Jamie, I'll put it in there for you. Let me see. Can I do it right now? I'll do it before the chat is over or anything. Hey, Elias, you have my you have it. Why don't you go ahead and send it to Jamie? Put my gamer tag for PlayStation. I'm pretty sure you have it. So it's high octane underscore buzz, HIGHOCTANE underscore buzz. Jamie, I'll try and get it up there as much as possible. And maybe what I'll do is I'll send you the friend request so that you know. But yeah, so there you go. Except instead of a dash, it's an underscore. Thank you, Billy Ricky. Except for the at part, but at least he did it. Thank you, Billy Ricky. I appreciate it. See, that's the things I got to take care of with Nightbot and all this other stuff for programming like this to get that shit done. But hell, Billy Ricky, man, he's getting it done. Thank you, Billy. But anyway, PlayStation is finally allowing crossplay support for Fortnite. They haven't done it for any other game yet. So if you're hoping for Fallout 76 or any other online game eventually when PUBG comes around, they haven't done that yet. There are rumors, by the way, that PUBG is coming to PS4. So just I'll go ahead and let you know that. It looks to be more and more real every day. But they had to go ahead and do this because the pressure was so fucking high that at some point they just said to themselves, listen, we have to give this to them. We have to give it to all these players. They're spending all this money on V-Bucks. Listen, Fortnite is making money hand over foot right now. More than PUBG, more than anybody. Listen, Call of Duty right now, even when Call of Duty launches in the next couple of weeks, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is going to be out. You did? All right, I will accept it. Don't worry, Jamie. With Call of Duty coming out, it's going to take a lot of hype away from Fortnite because Blackout for Black Ops 4 is really good. I played the beta and I've enjoyed it very much. And that's going to take away a lot of thunder from Fortnite for at least a little while. But Fortnite is like a beast that just can't stop because it's a free-to-play game. Free to get. The kids are playing. If you go on Twitch, you got this guy Ninja who's sitting there and he's playing. And he's like the #1 guy to go watch fucking play Fortnite. Unless you're watching the Twitch thoughts and the booby streamers and all that shit. You know, that's pretty much what anyone watches on Twitch. I was going to get to that later. But yeah, it's going to take a lot from World War II because the fact is World War II, no one's really playing it that much anymore. Even I abandoned World War II. But Blackout mode is so freaking good. I had my reservations on this, and they blew me away with what they were doing. So playing in the beta, I had a lot of fun with it. And even though I wasn't the best at it, I really wasn't, I'm still going to play. And we'll get squads together, and we'll play squads and stuff like that. But I used the beta as a way to make my way around the map, check out stuff like the zombies over at the asylum, fly around in the helicopter, take vehicles out, get a feel of the guns a little bit, is what I used it for, more than just, hey, let me go kill this person or whatever. That's not what I really wanted to do. That wasn't my mission to accomplish in game. Some of the issues I've had, though, is there's a lot of camping out. A lot of players, because they have that Call of Duty mentality of camping in a map, and they'll camp in a house, wait till some guy comes upstairs, bah, 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 I shot you. That part sucks. There are bunny hoppers in there. I think you guys know what bunny hopping is. I mentioned this on Free to Play on Joe's show this past Sunday of bunny hopping. And somebody I know in the chat said, hey, what's bunny hopping? Bunny hopping is when you're constantly jumping to try and avoid shots. And it seems to work with a lot of players. So bunny hopping is in this game. And Treyarch is doing everything they can to help eliminate a bit of the bunny hopping. And if they do that, I think it's going to make the game a lot better. But for right now, we're having issues with it. And it's not as good of an issue. Multiplayer has that issue right now with the bunny hopping. I've seen it in World War II where people would bunny hop. Uh, it's really fucked up. But hopefully they address the situation down the road because it just fucking blows when they're doing that stuff. But anyway, Fortnite now is becoming the big thing. The kids love it because they kind of moved away from them. They got the element of Minecraft in there, where you're crafting stuff and you're crafting structures and whatever. So bringing in the Minecraft community to a battle royale game has really worked out for Epic. It's nailed the genre. PUBG used to be the king for a long time. Now it's, second fiddle to fucking Fortnite. And Fortnite I think they're already started season 6, if I'm right. They have a brand new season coming in. They always have to see some sort of event, like a rocket going off or a cube that went into a lake. Like a rift and all this other stuff that was going on. We had Thanos in the game for a while, so they found ways to really make things interesting and constantly update the game. PUBG is just adding new maps. So with the adding of new maps, I think it's interesting, but when you look at what Fortnite's doing, it's just blowing everybody away. I'm kind of sick of and I'm played out of fucking Fortnite because I played it too much. And PUBG, I kind of feel the same way. But if I play Blackout, I'm gonna have a blast. Yeah, the Thanos thing was pretty cool, Billy Ricky. It really was. But I think Blackout right now is probably going to be the one I spend the most time on. I think it's the one that's going to be the most interesting and fun. And you're going to see me stream it a lot more, especially in Black Ops 4 in general, with zombies and regular multiplayer. You're going to see me really stream a lot of that, along with the WWE 2K19 and finishing up Spider-Man and South Park and playing Tomb Raider and all this other stuff that I'm going to get into. I'm going to have Capcom beat 'em ups and all sorts of stuff. So my streams is going to be crazy. Do I play Madden 19? Yes, I do. I haven't played it as much lately, but I need to. We'll definitely play Madden 19, Jamie. We'll have some open sessions with people to play Madden. So we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up. Right now, I'm in the middle of outage season for me. I start another outage next week. So once that outage is done, the rest of the year is a wide open schedule for me for streaming. So we're going to have a shit ton of streams. So make sure you guys are subbed here to the channel. Make sure you guys are following on Twitch. Or if you want to sub on Twitch, you could do that. Whatever you guys want to do. We're going to have lots of streams, and you guys are going to be able to participate and stuff like that. Whether it's on Xbox, whether it's on PlayStation. We'll get the Switch going as well, because we're going to have Smash Brothers by the end of the year. So we're going to have a lot of stuff going on, and shit tons of streams, and you guys will be all part of it. We'll have live party chat going. Maybe we'll have Skype going. We're going to have a lot of things going where you guys are going to be able to participate in the shows. Speaking of participating, next week, like I mentioned, episode 21, which is going to air back on our Thursday schedule, at least for right now, which should air on Thursday, 8 p.m. We're calling it the Blackjack episode, baby. And we haven't done the Twitter question of the week in a while. So I'm going to throw this one out here. Twitter question of the week. I'll post it up on Monday. Is going to be related to gambling. Let's see if I got any gamblers in the chat, because we're going to talk about maybe give me some moments on your gambling habits. If you've done anything gambling wise, maybe you went to the casino and you had a big win. We want to hear about it. Maybe you lost big. Maybe you met someone there and you banged them that night in the casino or whatever. Maybe you were out on a casino boat and you did something. I got a lot of casino-based stories that I'm going to share with you guys next week on episode 21, which is going to be a lot of fun. So because it's going to be the gambling episode, it's going to be because Blackjack 21 makes sense. We're going to have some fun with this stuff. So we're going to have some gambling issue stories that you have. Maybe you just bet something with a friend, on no money, but on something else. We want you guys to share those stories, and we're going to put it up on Twitter, and you guys will share them on Twitter, which I will read off on Thursday, your answers to that Twitter question. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people who chime in. A lot of people usually do, but we're going to bring the Twitter question back this Thursday. It'll be gambling oriented. So if you got a good gambling story, let us know about it on my Twitter. So I'll post it up on Monday, Twitter question of the week. You guys put them in that chat below, and we're going to read them off on Thursday. Wrapping things up this week, a couple of quick stories I want to get into before we get ready for Billy Ricky and the warm-up show, because that's going to be jumping pretty freaking soon here. We don't want to go over any schedules. We're not going to say, hey, we're taking subs or nothing. No, we're not doing that. How many of you guys have heard of the Tinder Trap? This is something that happened before I went out on the road. So I was not able to report on this, but I wanted to talk about it. I'm sure everyone here has heard of Tinder, okay? It's an online dating app. And I pretty much would call it a hookup app, basically. Because anyone who's on Tinder, let's just face it, you're not there to go find a soulmate. You're there to get freaking laid. That's it. That's why anyone's on fucking Tinder, okay? Well, anyway, chicken tendies. Let's get a hashtag chicken tendies in the chat, y'all. Hashtag chicken tendies in the hype in that chat, man. Let's make that happen. But anyway, this chick whose name is Natasha Aponte, who's basically a supposed Instagram model. Let me just state something for right now. There you go. Chicken Tendies is coming up in the chat. Thank you, Billy Ricky. But how many chicks are... It's funny that a woman could go sit there and be on Instagram, and automatically she's a Instagram model. Like, all of them are all fucking Instagram models. Like, they show a few pictures of them in bikinis and whatever, and look at me, I'm an Instagram model. Oh my God, I got a million followers. Oh my God. It's really fucking ridiculous. First off, I look at this girl, Natasha Aponte. I don't think she's even that hot. She really isn't at all. I watched a video from a guy named It's a Gundam, and I give him credit for this because he showed a picture of this girl and a few other pictures of this girl, Natasha, and it's like, at best, she's like a 5. Well, anyway, she sets up with this guy, Rob Bliss. Rob Bliss, who usually does a thing to create viral videos. And he created this one video of a woman walking through the streets of New York, and all these guys were hitting on her, and she basically just kept on walking. Well, all these guys just kept talking to her. He's the type of guy who likes to set up what they call social experiments. So he decides to go ahead and set up a social experiment to what he calls highlight the problem of online dating using Tinder. So he teams up with Natasha, and for 2 years, they planned this out. For 2 years, they got all these guys. She took a whole bunch of pictures and put them up on Tinder and got all these guys interested in her. The number was around 7,500 men interested in this one girl. Okay? And it got to the point where it was so overwhelming, they had to hire overseas workers to flirt with these 7,500 guys. I shit you not. This is what happened. They would set up even a phone number. When they called, they would hear Natasha's voice. But it was a setup. All right? So all this shit was going on for 2 years, leading these guys on. Okay? So what happened was, like, whoever stuck around to that point of these 7,500 guys, Natasha says, hey, meet me over in Union Square. There's this DJ I want to go check out and whatever. So they set up this fake DJ show with this guy, this one DJ in the middle of Union Square. And all these guys are coming out of nowhere thinking they're going on a date with this chick, Natasha. Okay? Now, if you're sitting there in front of a little stage with a DJ playing and you're looking around and it looks like a sausage fest, you should have realized at that point something's up here. You should have just been screaming bullshit, right? Well, anyway, Natasha shows up in this big fucking limo. There's a YouTube video of this, by the way. She shows up in this big-ass fucking limo with 2 fucking security guards, okay? And she comes out, she jumps up on stage, shaking the DJ's hand, oh, thank you, and all that stuff. She introduces herself and lets everybody know that they're part of an opportunity to win a date with her. And you see the look on every guy that's out there. And the people who are just walking down the street and realize they just been had. Every one of them's been had. That this is bullshit. And to a point where someone in the crowd was actually yelling out bullshit in front of the whole fucking crowd. This woman didn't really know any one of these guys' names. But what she made them do is she started eliminating people left and right. She says, if you're in a relationship with anybody, you have to go. Okay. Now, first off, that makes sense. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're in Tinder, you're fucked up. First off, you're fucked up. So she eliminated about half the people that were there. Half the people gone. There was guys that brought flowers and shit. I shit you not. It was pretty bad. But she then starts getting into this picky stuff. If you're under 5'10", you got to go. If you have a beard, you have to go. If you wear khakis, you have to go. All right. She says, oh, by the way, if your name is Jimmy, you got to go. If you have a dick that is under 6 inches, you need to go. She started weeding out these people left and right. Remember, 7,500 men interested in her, and a whole bunch of them showed up to Union Square thinking they're getting a date with her. And they're just being turned away and made to look like shit and embarrassed. Okay? Yeah, imagine if a guy did the same shit to fucking women. The Me Too movement would be all over it. But hey, we're not done yet. It goes further. These guys that are still left, that are still standing there like a bunch of morons, okay, now have to go through a set of physical challenges to win a date with her. They literally are doing push-ups for this girl. And if I'm Natasha and you're standing out on the stage and you're watching these guys, they're all wearing a bunch of fucking skinny jeans and all this other shit, looking like fucking retards, and they're sitting there doing push-ups for this girl, I look at them and say, turn in your fucking man card. Because you're being had, you're embarrassing yourself for a girl that at this point is no longer interested in you and never really was interested in you, and you're still trying to win a date with her. For what? Because you're treating it like it's some fucking competition? This is stupid. You ain't getting nothing out of this. So here they are doing fucking push-ups for this girl. She makes them run a race to see who's the fastest for this girl. Why? And everyone in the crowd's telling you this is bullshit. Why are you doing this? One guy had the balls to get up there and say, what the fuck are you doing? He grabbed the mic from this girl and says, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you doing this? You ain't getting shit out of this. You're a bunch of fucking idiots. Of course, security booted him out of there, but still, he told the truth, okay? This girl doesn't even know their names. She would say, so should I be with this guy? Guy number 1? Guy number 2? Guy number 3? She doesn't know their names. She never even asked. What's the point? Why are these guys up on stage acting like fools and fucking morons? She eventually picked a guy, has a one-on-one, if you want to call it, date with her. And you think that she ever had a second date with that guy? Nope. Nope. You did all that for nothing. You did all of that to be made look like a fucking fool. Now, granted, I mean, if you're... Listen, I'm a single guy. I can admit to this. But if you're on online dating, that's pretty fucking desperate. It's terrible. I feel like people who are on online dating are people who can't go and talk to a girl in real life. That you're too afraid to go talk to somebody. That you're socially inept and awkward. You're fucking desperate. You probably jerk off every damn night. The problem is with these guys is that if there's an attractive woman there in front of you, go up and fucking talk to her. Okay? Instead of relying on some shit that's online where all these people are fake as fuck. I had a guy, like one of my guys that would travel on the road with me for work. He was on Plenty of Fish. And I look at him like, why are you on this site? Never have I once seen him pick an attractive girl to bring back. Of course, he would just pick them up to bang. I mean, he would go home with a woman that looked like the equivalent of Jabba the Hutt, but at least he was getting freaking laid. I said, give it to him. Good for him. You know, I remember that one girl that would come home and to our trailer when we're over down in Port St. Lucie working an outage out there, and he'd bring her home and he was walking in with a pizza, sitting there, "Hey, Bri, hey, what's up, man?" I was like, "Hey, what's going on, dude?" He said, "Hey, I got some pizza. You want some pizza?" "Nah, man, I'm cool. I gotta head to work in a little bit." He goes, "Oh, by the way, I met this girl on Plenty of Fish. She would walk in and it was like she was slithering in like fucking Jabba the Hutt. Okay, she would walk in there. I mean, she was just like watch it jiggle, see, you know, it was like really bad. She would come in. I'm like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "Cha cha cha wa pizza." You know, she's just walking up to follow the fucking pizza. Okay, literally, her head is moving to the fucking pizza. All right, so here she is moving to the fucking pizza and heading over my buddy's bedroom over there in the fucking trailer. And I mean, you talk about a girl that was like really heavy. No, it wasn't Tommy TSS. And at one point, you could almost see the trailer because I have the patio section. And remember, this is during winter, so it's not really hot down there. But you can see the trailer a little bit just go. And when I saw that, it says, "Hey, Charlie, I gotta go. I gotta go to work, man. I'll see you later." I got out of there because I felt like shit was gonna fucking happen. But I didn't want to see any of the sex happen. I didn't want to know. Okay, I've seen chicks that he would pick up, he'd bring back and had sex on an air mattress, and the sounds of sex on a fucking air mattress is no, that's worse than whale sounds. Okay, it's just really fucking bad. But yeah, he brought one home to follow a pizza, and I'm like, and he took pictures of her, sent it to one of my foremen on another job while we were working up in Alabama, and he's like, "Brian, can I talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's wrong?" He goes, "Gotta talk about Charlie." And air mattress hats. Says Billy Ricky, holy shit, bro. And I says, "You gotta talk to you for a second." I said, "What's up?" He says, "About Charlie." He goes, I says, "Yeah." He says, "Have you seen the girls that he dates?" I says, "Yeah, he dated one that kind of looked like, you know," and then he completed my sentence and said, "Jabba the Hutt." And I go, "Oh no." And he says, "Yeah, I've seen that girl." I was like, "Wait, no, you banged her?" "No, no, 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 no." He showed me pictures of her, of him having sex with her. Naked pictures, the whole works. And he's like, "Here, let me show you what it is." I said, "No, no, 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 no. I don't want to fucking see. I don't want to see." To him, this stuff is conquest. Luckily, he's with a different girl, and I think he's doing good for himself and whatever. But the fact is, online dating is a sham. It really is. Like, they can sit there and tell you, half of our matches go ahead and get married. I don't give a fuck. They're there to do one thing, and that is get laid. That's all it is. It's like an free online prostitution site. Who wants to fuck who? That's pretty much what it is. Online dating is not finding a fucking soulmate. And for what this chick did on fucking Tinder, she's going out there saying, "Oh, I'm still being harassed by people." This video, by the way, that was up there that this guy Rob Bliss, this prick, did. There's no way to like or dislike the video. There's no way to post a comment because they know how bad this was and how bad it made men look. And like Gorilla Strong said earlier, if it was a guy that was in the place of Natasha, you would have the Me Too movement all over you for this. There would be no end in sight. "Oh, you embarrassed a woman. Oh, this is bad." It's that standard that we have to go through. But yeah, women can do this to us, and I think it's bullshit. Speaking of women that do stuff like this, how many of you guys have seen this video of a Russian woman I think it's on a subway train over in Russia, pouring bleach on male passengers' crotches because she's sick of the thing called manspreading, okay, which is sitting with your legs spread apart. Okay, she's so sick of it that she would have a water bottle filled with watered down bleach to go ahead and get them with the bleach. Okay, so when they walk out, they would have this huge stain around their fucking crotch. She does it unexpectedly to a bunch of guys. Just walk up, squirt right on them, whether they're reading a newspaper or doing whatever, because she's sick of what's called manspreading. Okay, her name is Anna Dvolyuk. She's a student and supposedly another Instagram model because there's pictures of her in fucking swimsuits and all this other shit and full makeup and everything. Another fucking idiot. Gorilla Strong says, "I found my soulmate on FetLife." What's FetLife? I gotta know. What's FetLife? But yeah, so this chick Anna is a fucking Instagram model, by the way. and who has also flashed her panties to people in protest of what is upskirting fetish website. Oh my God, Gorilla. Oh man, Billy Ricky says I found mine on Farmers Only. Oh my God. Oh, anybody find one on Match.com yet? But yeah, this woman's also flashed her panties to protest upskirting. She's out there going ahead and bleaching people. Instagram model, by the way. I'll get me wrong. She's pretty cute. I'll be honest with you. Compared to Natasha, I'd rather go out with the girl who's fucking doing the fucking bleach than freaking Natasha. I'll tell you that. But I mean, what the fuck is wrong with women? Women, I'm telling you, man. Ever since the Me Too movement thing started, I'm not trying to be political or anything, but men are looking like shit. And for some of these guys, I can say they're guilty and whatever, and I'm not going to get into Kavanaugh and all this other bullshit. But yes, as men have done some pretty embarrassing shit in the past, and I can understand why women are pissed. Look, I support you, but at some point, I gotta draw a fucking line, okay? To the chick who's fucking pouring the bleach juice to this other bitch, Natasha, who embarrassed 7,500 guys. When's this gonna end? I mean, women. I feel like it's gonna end up being like South Park. If you guys have seen South Park, this past season, where us guys are pretty much going to be on the planet Mars, stripped down naked and being used for our sperm and jokes. It's coming. Women are going to take over everything. It's already happening. It's already taken place. Anita Sarkeesian doing the fucking video game shit. She's not even a fucking gamer. All she cares about is women's equality. I want women heroes in a game. We already have that. We've had that for a while. But no, I want them in every game. Fuck that. Not going to happen. All right? It's just not going to fucking happen. But she wants it for everything. You know, listen, I'm all for women's equal rights. I am. I think we all are. Okay? But the shit that's going on everything else that we have, whether it's social media or otherwise, we have to draw a line and say, listen, you're getting everything else. Found your soulmate on the farm, Billy Ricky. We're giving you everything at this point. But the accusing of assault and rape and all this stuff at some point has to stop. All right, it's starting to come to a 180 for them, because some of them that are accusing are just plain accusing, and they're lying about it. Okay, what's happening with the Kavanaugh thing, I really don't care about, whether he's guilty or not. I think he pretty much is, but you know, he's going to get away with it because of all the fucking Republicans, because they're just going to vote him in, which is no shame, you know, no surprise there, because they're going to vote party line. But you know, women have been taking advantage of this thing, this Me Too shit, for too long. Honestly, I think it's time that it needs to stop. It's a time where too much is too much, and it's time to just say enough. We get it. Okay? People like me, it's hard for me to walk down a street and you see an attractive woman and you want to say hi to her. But you can't, because she's going to come back and say, hey, you need to stop mentally raping me. I've heard this before of someone else that I know finds a nice, beautiful woman, wants to talk to her, and she accuses him of mental rape. What are we supposed to do? That every time we see a woman, we got to look down? Don't look at her, right? Unless we come back and say, hey, stop mentally raping me. But this is bullshit. And it needs to end. This fucking, you know, all these allegations need to end. All this bullshit, you know, listen, guys, we need to take responsibility, obviously. We need to take responsibility for our own actions, okay? Whether we get drunk at a party or whatever, we need to be responsible and not do stupid shit. And if you do, wear a condom. As simple as that. Wear a fucking condom, please. All right? Don't be a fool, wrap the toll, and then maybe one day you can be a Supreme Court justice. Honestly. It's just fucked up bullshit that needs to end, whether it's a celebrity or otherwise. I mean, yeah, we can laugh about all this bullshit going on, but, you know, and we can make good memes like the one they've done for Kavanaugh lately. with Samuel L. Jackson from the scene of Pulp Fiction, which is brilliant, by the way. But at some point, we have to say to ourselves, we need to be responsible. We need to be responsible for our actions. Know what the fuck we're doing, okay? Because one of these days is going to bite us all in the ass in the end. And wear a rubber. Simple as that. Wear a rubber. You'll get away with everything. If some chick wants to stick you on Maury Povich, you can say, hey, I wore a rubber or I fucked her in the ass. There's no way I'm the father. That's the way I see it. And guys, that's the episode for this week, man. That's how I'm going to wrap shit up. Guys, I appreciate being here. We got the warm-up show coming up in a little bit. We got to get Billy Ricky ready to go so he can go ahead and start getting ready for the warm-up show, get the hype rolling. I got the thing started. You got the warm-up now completed to the warm-up. A warm-up leading to Insomniac, and Insomniac leading to Corrupted Podcast. I appreciate everyone who's been in here and hung out for the hour and 40 minutes that I did this show today. It was a blast doing this, to talk with you guys. It's been a while that I've had an episode. The good part is we'll have another episode on Thursday. Won't be an hour and a half or anything like that, but we're going to have the gambling episode, the blackjack episode next week. Twitter question will be up on Monday. We're going to get your responses in terms of gambling. We're going to see how I did with my football picks. And we'll have the week 5 football picks coming up next week as well. Whatever comes up in the news, we'll bring that up. A lot of stuff we'll get into as quickly as possible for next week. But I am going to get out of here. I'm going to enjoy my evening here in Green Bay, get ready for the game for tomorrow. I'm going to pop in throughout the shows, throughout the night. Here and there. Don't expect any bombs dropping tonight. I just think more it's going to be for me to watch shows and just have a good time. By the end of this, Himmelgod, we're going to have 5 warm-up shows to the warm-up shows to the warm-up of Insomniac says TSS. Holy shit. But thank you, Ryan. Thank you, TSS. Thank you, Billy Ricky. Elias, thank you for the modding in the chat today. I want to thank Jamie, who is here today. Gorilla Strong, I appreciate hanging out in here. I want to thank so many people, so I'm making sure I'm trying to get as many people as possible that hung out here. Ronnie Lee, I saw Ronnie Lee in here today. Jamie Mills, thank you very much. I'm going to get your friend request taken care of on PlayStation as I'm running up the list here to catch everybody. Who else did we have here today? Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, by the way, is going to be 105 gigabytes, by the way. I just caught that, Elias. Thank you. That's a lot, dude. And mine's going to download, so that's really, really sucks that it's going to be as big as it is. God forbid what Fallout. Fallout, by the way, they're going to have the beta coming up this month, so make sure you guys check that out. For Fallout 76, we'll be on Xbox first as I go. Steve Cody, by the way, thank you for being here today. Greatly appreciate that. Hey, Donald Trump was here today. I know it's not the real Donald Trump, but hey, Donald Trump was in the house, and he even applauded. So thanks a lot. Heistman Defoe, who could be the new monetizes champion next week. Make sure you guys check that out. Fami, by the way, won the points in the bank last night on Monetize This. Thank you to Will 10, who hung out for a while. I greatly appreciate that. I know he's not much of a football fan, but you got to get with the football for this season. So Luke Rojas, thank you to Luke Rojas for being here. The Metal Madman, Matthew Oswald, appreciate it. Holy cow, I'm going through everybody up and down this list. So just listen, if I didn't mention your name, dude, come on. I appreciate you being here. If you're new, you know what to do. Click the like button. Subscribe. Participate in the chat, guys, because we love having you here. Dan Rex, by the way, thank you for being here as well. So many names. Super Laser, by the way. Pro Violence was in the house. Super Laser was here. Dude, freaking everyone was in the house, and I appreciate all the love, the support, everything you guys brought. Dave25 also, there's another name as I'm going up the list. TJ Banks, Renegade Joe Compton. I didn't even notice that Joe Compton was in here tonight. I know he's got a war with going on right now at Heistman. Hopefully you guys can get along. Casey Yates, thank you. Broken Lion in the house as well. And I picked the Lions for tomorrow. They're Broken Lions, so, show some love there. But to everyone else who hung out, thank you for being here. Even if I didn't get to your name. Killdozer! He's coming in at the end. What's up, Killdozer? Holy cow. Guys, I appreciate it. All the love, support. Hopefully the stream came out great. I know at some point someone said it was lagging a bit. Hopefully it wasn't that bad. But we'll have more topics for next week. Twitter question Monday. Make sure you guys get your gambling stories ready because we're going to have that next week on episode 21, the Blackjack episode. So make sure you guys tune in for that regular time, Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on my YouTube channel. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Let's get hyped, y'all. We're ready for the warm-up show. Billy Ricky's getting ready to start it up. And we will see you guys there. And, of course, I'll see you guys on the next couple of streams coming up down the road. So I am Brian Himmelfarb, a.k.a. the Himmelgod